Hi, this is Eric Janesco with your Business Acceleration eZine for May 2012 from the team here at Maximum Acceleration. And of course, this month's issue is about a concept we call getting through giving. Under the current market environment with these incredibly low historically interest rates and with the volume of home affordability and opportunities that are out there, there's a huge audience out there that needs our help right now. But all of us are being strained to the limit with our capacity to be able to help people. So what do we do to really systemize and create a huge amount of efficiency in our business so that we can help as many people as possible, so that we can help people take advantage of this, and as a result, pick up some additional volume? Well, one of the key concepts we talk about is really talking about mining for referrals. I mean, we all know the value of a good referral, somebody who's happy with us, who is appreciative of our service, who introduces us to somebody else who has a need for a mortgage or real estate guidance or advice or that type of thing. But what we got to look at is those. We know how powerful those things are, but they're very hard to find sometimes. So what we've got to begin to establish is a process for mining. I mean, think about, for example, how do you mine for gold? I mean, over the last couple of TV seasons, there's a show on called Gold Rush, which has been a really popular series on Discovery Channel, and it fascinated me to think about how many thousands of metric tons of dirt have to be moved, and how that goes into a wash plant, and how it has to be dialed in just right to be able to filter out the heaviest particles of the gold, the actual nuggets of that precious metal that we're looking for, to find just a few ounces. I mean, literally tens of thousands of pounds of metric tons of earth being moved to find a couple of grains of gold. That, of course, are worth thousands of dollars per ounce, and that's how it becomes so valuable. We all know that has to be a systematic process, that there has to be a way to dig through and identify. So the question we want to ask you is, how are you asking for referrals in the current market? How are you finding those nuggets of valuable opportunities to help people? Now, there's a couple of key points in this. The first one has to do with, are we asking at all, or are we asking, and with what intent? So step one is we got to ask, right? We know that there's a limited possibility that we create such a powerful experience for our clients that they willingly refer us. But that's very few and far between that sort of luck just kind of falls in our lap. The second way that we could do it is to simply state that we would like referrals because it's about us. But is that the best approach? Is that the way to really connect with people? The other step is to think about how it helps them. So when we start asking clients for referrals, the first thing I want to caution you to do is not think about yourself, but think about your client and think about their friends and family, the people they care about, and how we can help their friends and family take advantage of the incredible opportunities in the market to either save money by refinancing or restructuring a mortgage, getting rid of consumer debt, to purchase, moving from a rental to a buying situation and quit throwing their money away on rent, or to upgrade their property and find a property or a home that's going to better fit the needs of their family based on changes in circumstances over the last couple of years via job situations, family size, or all those kind of things. We know that there's a ton of opportunity right now out there with home affordability and real estate prices and interest rates at their cheapest levels in many, many years. The homes are more affordable than they have ever been. The buying power that our clients have working with 4 or in some cases less than 4% interest rate money versus what was 5 years ago at 5.5% or 6% on a standard 30-year fixed mortgage, that there's a ton of opportunity for people to be able to take advantage of this market, and most people are not aware of it. So what we want to do is reach out to our clients and start to spread that message and ask for their help in sharing with their friends, family, and colleagues at work how powerful of an opportunity it is right now in this current market. So the first question is, from a technical perspective, how do you ask for referrals? Now, I'm going to ask you to think about an odd question for just a second, and even though this is video, I want to make this as interactive as I can. So I'm going to ask a question here in just a second. I literally want you to give me a verbal response. I know this seems a little crazy, but humor me for a second. So the question is, do you know the name of your best friend? Uh-oh. Okay, so you just gave me an answer, and 99% of you, I'm sure, gave me a yes or no response, right? And I'm sorry for those of you who don't know the name of your best friend, but anyway, so here's the thing. If I wanted to know the name of your best friend, did I ask the right question? The obvious answer is no, right? I mean, if I wanted to know the name of your best friend, I should have asked, who is your best friend, or what is your best friend's name? So think about that for just a second. You know, our brains, the human brain, is very much like the computer, right? It's programmed to respond to specific questions in very specific patterns or ways. So in that process, you know, it's what we ask for is what we're going to get. If we ask, do you know anyone who would be interested in saving money on a home or refinancing or purchasing a better home, you know, unless our client literally has talked to somebody in the last couple of hours that said, yeah, I'm thinking about buying a house, likelihood is the first response is going to be no. Nothing comes to mind. I'll think about it for you, but no, I don't know anybody who's interested in refinancing or purchasing a home. But what if we changed the game a little bit? What if we started asking who? You know, Mr. Client, who do you know that is renting right now and has a stable job and ought to at least think about whether it's an opportune time to buy a home for them and get out of renting and quit throwing their money away? Now, the way we position this, in where we position this in our conversations with our clients is another critical element of this. So the next step we want to look at is, when do we ask the question? So typically when we're sitting down with a client, by the way, the joking answer I often give when I ask that question, when should I ask for referrals, is early and often. We want to pre-stage as early as possible. As soon as we've given value to the client, we want to connect with that value and capitalize upon that client's desire to reciprocate on the value that we've given them. You know, Dr. Cialdini from University of Arizona, and you hear me talk a lot about his laws of influence. When somebody receives something of value from us, they have a natural desire to want to give something back to us. So if we give first, they're going to want to respond. So all we have to do is open the door and give them a method, a way to do it. So the next way we do this is we talk about really what we're trying to accomplish. And we're doing it at a time after we've created value. So for example, for a mortgage loan officer, after we've sat down and had a consultation with the borrower about all their different loan options, and we've put together a great structure for how to build a loan that's going to help them achieve a lot of their other financial goals, and they're feeling very gracious and helpful of the additional advice and guidance that we've given them that goes way beyond what the typical loan officer or mortgage company provides, then we're in a position to ask for referrals. But I always want to make it about them and not about me, because we know that it doesn't bother. I mean, I don't want to hound anybody. I don't want to stalk anybody. I don't want to chase anybody. I only want to talk to people who really are in a position to benefit from what I have to offer them. So the first question I'm going to ask these clients is, hey, Mr. Customer, as you probably realized by now in this conversation, I'm pretty passionate about spreading the word and making sure that people are making smart choices when setting up a mortgage that can also help them achieve their other financial goals, like we've done today during your consultation. I also want to let you know that there's an incredible opportunity for people to benefit right now that most people are just simply unaware of. So whether it's the person moving from renting to buying, or the person moving from from a smaller home to a slightly larger home, or a different home in a different part of town to reduce commute, or all those other factors that affect a home that they're in not meeting their needs any longer, now is the best time in history, literally, to take advantage of doing any sort of purchase, refinance, or home upgrade, because of the interest rate and property values that we're seeing in the market right now. There's just kind of a perfect opportunity that's come together here that's literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So what I'd like you to do, Mr. Customer, is I'd like to enlist your help in sharing that message with the people you care about who are likely in a position to benefit. So let me ask you something. Who do you know that really ought to think about getting out of a rental situation? Who do you know that has a stable job, who's currently renting, and literally is probably throwing their money away on rent? You know, I mean, $800 a month in rent for 5 years is over $40,000 in money that's literally gone down somebody else's toilet. I'd love to talk to people like that and see if there's even a remote possibility of helping them get into a home. Another example would be, who do you know that the home they're in doesn't really fit their needs anymore? They've had a couple of additional children, or they've had a change in jobs, and they're having an excessive commute, which is taking time away from them being able to spend time with their family. And under the current price of gas and everything, it's just way too big of an expense, and they really ought to move to a different neighborhood. Who do you know that maybe is the opposite side of the spectrum? You know, the couple that's still living in a fairly large house, that the kids are off and married and on to their own families, and maybe it's time to look at downsizing a little bit or moving from that three-story home into a ranch level, single level home, because they're getting to a stage in life where, because of health condition and that kind of thing, that big family house in 3 stories isn't appropriate for them any longer. You know, and as I'm asking these questions of the clients, I'm creating a conversation, I'm creating a dialogue here about helping that client recognize people in their sphere of influence who could benefit from taking a look at a home buying opportunity. And so we can call this a home opportunity evaluation. We can put a great title on it if you want. We can do a lot of different things with this, but the whole purpose here is just planting that seed that there are a tremendous number of people out there who could benefit from the interest rate and purchase property value, purchase price, home price market right now that are probably unaware of it. And we're trying to get that message in front of them. So there's just one simple quick tip that you could implement in your business immediately, that you could start having a conversation with every borrower or client you're working with. And you know, if you got 5 to 7 names out of every conversation just through a short 5 to 10 minute dialogue, you know, what's the likelihood that you wouldn't find 2 or 3 out of that 5 to 7 people that actually are in a position to benefit, and you're the right introduction to that, and they move forward into some sort of a future business opportunity for you. So what if, you know, that one transaction leads to 2 additional people you can help, and those 2 lead to 4, and those lead to 8, and then 16, and you see how the progression can literally explode from here. Just as a functional matter of adding one simple additional conversation to your process and focusing on giving before getting, offering service and value to people who are likely completely unaware that such an opportunity exists as it does right now. Okay, so obviously these kinds of tools and strategies can make a massive difference in your volume and your ability to produce results. Even in the busiest of times, we can still capitalize on the conversations that we have every day with our clients to turn it into a consistent and more sustainable growth to our volume. So if you've ever wondered what it really looks like and what coaching could potentially do for you, permit me to just share with you a couple of things that our clients often experience. So over the course of the next couple of months in this eZine series, I'm going to share with you some simple thoughts and ideas on what coaching could potentially do for you. One of the things that coaching does is it gives you that outside perspective. I mean, we've all heard the cliches, you can't see the forest for the trees. You know, it's what's right under our noses, we can't even see type stuff. And why is that we get so busy doing what we're doing that we forget to step back and take a bigger picture look? And a lot of times, I mean, how often is it that business and growth in business is a lot like walking through one of these mazes? And I don't know if you've ever had the experience of walking down through one of these big mazes, or a corn maze or something like that. But really, I mean, a lot of it is just trial and error. We see this vision down the corridor of what we want, and we try and walk towards it, but it's kind of fuzzy and out of focus. And you know, we get to the end of the corridor and we've got a choice, right? You know, we hit a dead end. We've got to make a decision: turn left, turn right, go straight. And so each of those times we come to a decision like that in our business, how many times have we just tried to learn how to grow by trial and error, right? Sometimes we make the right decision. Sometimes, more often than not, we make the wrong one. Hopefully, we learn from our mistakes, and over the course of years, we have hopefully learned and done enough of the right things and enough of the wrong things and learned from them that we eventually get to where we're trying to go and we get our way out of the maze. But how much faster could we get through it if we had somebody in a helicopter giving us turn-by-turn directions? Well, the obvious answer is much, much faster. And so part of the value of coaching is getting that helicopter view, that outside perspective that helps you look at your business from the perspective of how it's being run, as opposed to just the day-to-day running of it. Pulling you back and helping you look at it from the bigger picture view can be inordinately valuable in making fine-tuning adjustments to what you're doing and getting the experience and advice and guidance of a coach who has been doing this with a lot of people over many, many years, and has seen enough of the wrong things, enough of the right things to be able to give you that turn-by-turn guidance and advice and direction. So, this particular study, you've seen me put it up on the screen before, but I want to go a little deeper this month into showing you what this really says. This Brigham Young research study about performance enhancement and development had to do with a couple of concepts. So when a person says that's a good idea, 10% chance of change. When a person commits out loud, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make this change, 25% chance it'll stick. When a person says when they're going to do it and puts that additional date stamp commitment on it, 40% chance of change. When a person plans how to do it in advance and does all of the 4 previous things, 50% chance of change. When that same person commits to somebody else that they're going to make that change, 60% chance of change. When they set a specific future time to share progress with that person they've committed to, in other words, they set a deadline for when they're going to have that task completed, 95% chance of change. So the idea here is whether you decide to take on a coach or not, your chances of change are much better if you plan out your strategy, you decide a specific deadline or time frame for completing it, and you make a promise to somebody else and tell them to check back in with you and hold you accountable to whether or not you followed through on that commitment by a specific deadline. So one of our coaches that can really help you do this effectively is one of our coaches, Cris Lang, that I want to introduce you to. Cris has been with me since 2007 in our professional coaching program, Maximum Acceleration. Over the years, he's developed a tremendous tenure and record in serving and leading in sales managements of varied organizations across a wide range of industries. He has a very proven track record. He's also a certified Franklin Covey time management and activity management consultant and speaks all over the country throughout the years on opportunities to create efficiency and productivity, and has in the last couple of years opened up a growth coach franchise in the Pittsburgh area, coaching a wide range of business owners, and in addition to that, has had tremendous tenure and experience with people in the mortgage and real estate industry specifically. He is a real estate investor and an experienced originator. So if you'd like Cris' help on development and you'd like more information about how to get some support from a coach to create that outside perspective and additional accountability for you to help you maximize your growth, give us a call. We'll get you hooked up with Cris for a strategy session. Other opportunities coming up, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up on. We do still have a handful of tickets left available at an extreme discount that we can't even mass market the dollar amount of that discount. If you're interested in attending the Mastermind Conference in Las Vegas coming up on the 6th through the 8th of June, first full week of June, come out and see us at the Mastermind 2012 event hosted by Mortgage Executive Magazine. And we're very proud to announce the first annual Maximum Impact Summit is going to be a part of that program this year. On the 8th, which is the Friday, the Mastermind Conference speakers will be running the 6th and 7th, 2 full days. But on the 8th, we're going to help you take all those ideas because, Mortgage Executives event is going to be a fire hose of information. 23 of the top speakers in the industry, a couple of great keynotes from Brian Tracy and Harvey McKay and Jim McMahon are going to be speaking at this event as well. What are you going to do with those thousands of ideas that get thrown at you in a very short period of time? Well, on the 8th, we're going to walk you through how to create a successful implementation plan. We're going to help you break down, pick out the best ideas that are going to solve your biggest challenges in business and help you develop a specific plan of action to implement over the next 6 months that will almost guarantee that you're going to achieve a better result. We only have 100 seats available for this program, so if you are interested in signing up, give us a call. We'll get you plugged in for how to get it. And like I said, we do have a handful of tickets for an extreme discount to the Mastermind event itself. So certainly reach out to us via phone or email what you're seeing on the screen. We'll get you plugged in. All right, the last thing I want to share with you is if you'd like some information about whether coaching can help you or not, or if you have any question about coaching, the best way we've found to help you understand the value of coaching is to take what we call a strategy session. You'll get a true coaching experience. We'll pick one particular challenge or obstacle or opportunity that you see in your environment but haven't been able to tackle yet. We'll walk you all the way through an assessment planning and implementation plan development. You'll get some tools and resources along the way from our exclusive library of content. content, and you'll walk away from the event with a better plan of action to deal with your biggest challenge or opportunity. There's no cost or obligation for the service. After you've experienced a true coaching and understand the value of what it could do for you, we'll talk about what the next steps would be, what the commitments and P's and Q's on both sides of the issue would be, if it's something that you're interested in pursuing deeper at that point. But like I said, there's no cost or obligation for the strategy session. It's simply the best way we've found to help people really understand and experience the true value of coaching and be able to make a logical decision about if or when it makes sense for them to move forward with coaching. So if you'd like one of these strategy sessions, you can simply go to our website, www.mxlcoach.com/strategy, mxlcoach.com/strategy, and you'll get, all you have to do is punch in a couple of quick bits of information there, and we'll get you out for scheduling with one of our coaches, including Cris. All right, last thing I want to offer you is the opportunity to see how to take an idea and put it into action for yourself. So if all you've done is watch this video, I want you to experience some real value. So go back to the referral mining strategy that I talked about at the beginning of today's recording. Here's what I want you to do with it. I want you to put it in action. Okay? So the first question you want to answer for yourself is, what was the most valuable thing you heard in this program and how to implement it? The second thing is, what action do you need to take to make that a part of your daily business? So, for example, if you want the how to do the who questions, you need to download the resource by going to our website, www.mxlcoach.com/solution. On that, you'll be able to download the resources of how to create your own version of the who questions, for example. That's the first next step. Then what are the rest of the actions? Do you need to spend some time to schedule and practice those who questions and get used to doing them? Do you need to create a safe environment to try them out with a couple of safe customers first? The people that are good friends, long-term relationships that you can ask them, hey, I want to try something new on you. Would you mind giving me your feedback on how to make it work better? Okay, maybe that's the third action item. And then by then you're ready to up and run in every situation. And once you get in the habit of doing it with every new client you're working with, how much more quickly are you going to be able to expand and grow your business and start creating that compounding geometric growth effect? Okay, so once you've decided what actions you need to take, the third and final step is make a commitment, set a specific deadline, and tell somebody about it. Decide when are you going to have that action implemented, and who are you going to ask to hold you accountable. Who are you going to make a promise to, and who are you going to ask to follow up with you on a specific time frame? All right, so that's today's Business Acceleration eZine from the team here at Maximum Acceleration. Of course, we're always here to help. If there's anything we can do for you, simply do not be afraid to reach out. Otherwise, we hope you take these ideas and have found them valuable. I hope you take this plan of action and take it seriously and do something differently. So go out there and make it a great month. We'll talk to you soon.